So there is, of course, there is a study that as we age, our bones and we get more prone to these injuries, and sometimes when there is no activity, suddenly something comes to us and we are again susceptible to this. But what something that was actually agonizing me is the number of kids who are falling into this category who have problems in the orthopedics. What do you have to say about that?
I don't think we can completely address the problem, but at least I can highlight the issues that we see in youngsters and elderly people. It partly stems down to the culture or the communities, various communities in India. The diverse culture is everywhere you go. There are different beliefs, myths, both amongst parents, grandparents. Mainly also because I remember as children we had lots of playgrounds to play around. There was a lot of sunlight, exposure to sunlight, a lot of dust. Parents were not that strict when it came to playing sports. We were allowed to go outside on our own along with friends. There was, basically safety was all around, and there was very good community relationships, and your neighbors would welcome you. These things are a strange thing to many youngsters these days. They don't know where they can go to play sports. Most of the time they're playing on mobile phones. Yeah. They're indoors. And particularly tragic is the life of a young girl in India. In many communities, they are not allowed to mingle with the crowd outside. And certainly with what we hear in the papers these days, it's not very safe for girls to go on their own outside in many cities in India. Also because of the beliefs, they have to stay at home. They're nurtured to be at home, look after the family, cook, grow, have children, and so they tend to spend a lot of time at home. Even the schools don't have playgrounds. Majority of the schools in inner cities don't have playgrounds for kids to play. So it's during the daytime they're either at school, under a roof, not exposed to sunlight, and play, physical activity. They come home, they're either on the mobile phone or books, and they are developing all sorts of physical issues. So many of my young patients who come to me are in their early teens. Many of them are girls, also boys, but majority are girls with bandy legs or bow legs because of rickets. Can you imagine in a country like India where there is, sunshine galore, we are getting people who have rickets. And when I tell them that, that girls have to also be encouraged to go outside and play sport, the first question to me is, where, sir? Yeah. We don't have a place to walk. There are buildings coming up, concrete jungle. There is no place to walk even on a footpath if there is one. So footpath culture doesn't exist in India. Whereas you go abroad, there are more people walking than on motorbikes or scooters or whatever. There is a walking culture or cycling. All this doesn't exist in much of India except in rural areas, which are totally neglected. Yeah. So that's another story. So my concern is that we are not really allowing children to play outside, and a lot of the stress is on study.
Like and subscribe Eagle Media Works.